The office fell silent as 8-year-old Lily Morgan stepped through the glass doors, clutching her worn teddy bear and her father's hand. It was take your child to work day, but everyone knew James Morgan had no choice today. The babysitter had cancelled last minute, and as a single dad with a major presentation, he was out of options. What no one expected was how this unexpected visitor would change everything, especially for their stern CEO, Victoria Hayes. If you're enjoying this story of unexpected connections and second chances, please consider liking this video and subscribing to our channel for more heartwarming content that reminds us of our shared humanity. James Morgan adjusted his tie nervously as he guided his daughter through the bustling marketing department of Hayes Innovations. At 34, he'd mastered the art of juggling single parenthood and his career as a senior marketing strategist, most days. Today wasn't most days. His presentation to the board was in 2 hours, and Lily's school was closed for teacher development. "Daddy," everyone's staring, Lily whispered, pressing closer to his side. "It's just because you're the prettiest girl they've ever seen in this boring office," he whispered back, earning a giggle that momentarily eased the knot in his stomach. His colleague Diane spotted them and hurried over. "James. I didn't know you were bringing a guest today." Her smile was warm as she knelt to Lily's level. "And who might you be, young lady?" "I'm Lily Morgan. I'm 8 3/4, she announced with the solemnity only children can muster when declaring their age. "Well, Lily Morgan, who is 8 3/4, it's very nice to meet you. Your dad has a big meeting today, doesn't he?" James ran a hand through his already disheveled hair. "Babysitter has the flu. I've been preparing for this presentation for weeks, I couldn't reschedule." Diane's expression shifted to concern. "You know Victoria doesn't like disruptions." Victoria Hayes had transformed Hayes Innovations from a struggling startup to a powerhouse in just 5 years. Brilliant, driven, and notoriously demanding, she ran her company with precision and little patience for personal matters interfering with work. "I know," James sighed. "I'm hoping to set Lily up in the break room with her tablet. She's good at entertaining herself." As if summoned by the mention of her name, Victoria Hayes emerged from the elevator. The usual morning chatter died instantly. At 38, she commanded attention not just with her impeccable wardrobe, today a charcoal suit with crimson accents, but with the focused intensity that radiated from her. Her dark hair was pulled back in a sleek bun, emphasizing sharp cheekbones and eyes that missed nothing. Those eyes now locked onto James and the small figure beside him. "Mr. Morgan," she said, her voice carrying across the suddenly silent office. "My office. Now." James squeezed Lily's hand. "It's okay, sweetheart. Stay with Ms. Diane for a minute." Diane nodded encouragingly, but her eyes conveyed what everyone was thinking: James was in trouble. Victoria was already seated behind her desk when James entered, closing the door softly behind him. "Explain," she said simply, gesturing to the chair across from her. "My daughter's school is closed today, and her babysitter called in sick this morning. I have the board presentation at 11, and I." "So you brought a child to a professional workplace?" It wasn't a question. James straightened. "I didn't have alternatives. I'm sorry for the disruption, but I've never missed a deadline or underperformed. Today won't be different." Victoria studied him for a long moment. James had always been an enigma to her, brilliant at his job yet somehow maintaining a warmth that most lost in the corporate climb. She'd reviewed his file when promoting him last year. Widowed when his daughter was just 3, he'd rebuilt his life while raising a child alone. "The empty chair in the corner of your office," she said finally. "Will it accommodate her?" James blinked in surprise. "The visitor chair? It's rather uncomfortable. And too big for her to reach the table properly." Something flickered across Victoria's face, so briefly James thought he'd imagined it. "Too small," she murmured, then with unexpected decisiveness, "sit her here instead." She gestured to the plush sofa against her office wall, a piece of furniture employees joked had never been used. What? James stammered. Your daughter can stay in my office during your preparation time and the meeting. It's soundproofed, has a private bathroom, and I have conference calls all morning that will keep me elsewhere. James stared at her, searching for the catch. Ms. Hayes, that's incredibly generous, but... It's practical, Mr. Morgan. I need you focused on that presentation. Now, introduce me to your daughter. Minutes later, Lily stood wide-eyed in Victoria's office, clutching her teddy bear as she took in the floor-to-ceiling windows with their view of the city. Lily, James said gently, this is Ms. Hayes. She's letting you stay in her office while Daddy works. Victoria knelt down, surprising both Morgans. Hello, Lily. You can call me Victoria. What's your bear's name? Pancake, Lily replied cautiously. Daddy says he's almost as old as me. Pancake looks very wise, Victoria said seriously. Would you and Pancake like to draw? I have some paper and colored pens. As Victoria set Lily up with supplies from a drawer James hadn't known existed, he watched in astonishment. This was not the Victoria Hayes who struck fear into executives' hearts. Thank you, he said quietly as Lily settled on the sofa, already absorbed in her drawing. Victoria straightened, professional mask sliding back into place. 2 hours, Mr. Morgan. Make them count. Throughout the morning, James checked on Lily between preparation sessions. Each time, he found her contentedly drawing or reading on the sofa. Victoria appeared and disappeared, taking calls in conference rooms but somehow always ensuring Lily had water or a snack when needed. During one visit, James noticed something on Victoria's desk he'd never seen before, a small framed photo, turned away from the door. He couldn't make out the image, but its presence in her meticulously minimalist office was curious. The board presentation went flawlessly. James's marketing strategy for their new product line was approved unanimously, with Victoria herself acknowledging the work with a rare, excellent job, Morgan. When he returned to collect Lily, he found her sitting behind Victoria's desk, the CEO beside her, both bent over a drawing. Daddy! Lily exclaimed. Victoria is teaching me how to make a business plan for my lemonade stand. Victoria straightened, a faint flush coloring her cheeks. Your daughter has entrepreneurial instincts, Mr. Morgan. James, he corrected gently. After today, I think we can use first names. Something shifted in Victoria's expression, a softening around the eyes. James, then. As they gathered Lily's things, Victoria hesitated, then spoke. The company picnic this weekend. Will you be attending? James had planned to skip it, as he usually did. Office socializing was complicated as a single parent. We hadn't planned to. I'm told there will be face painting, Victoria interrupted, looking at Lily. And I've been informed by a reliable source that the lemonade there is subpar. Perhaps a consultant could improve it? Lily beamed. I could help. Daddy, can we go? James found himself nodding, caught in the unexpected current between his daughter's excitement and his boss's uncharacteristic invitation. We'll be there. As they left the office that evening, Diane intercepted them by the elevator. So, she whispered to James, what miracle did you perform to get Victoria Hayes to play babysitter? James shook his head, still processing the day himself. I have no idea. Daddy, Lily tugged his hand. Victoria showed me a picture of her little girl. She's in heaven with Mommy. James froze, the pieces suddenly clicking into place, the photo on the desk, the unexpected kindness, the connection with Lily. The company picnic dawned sunny and warm. James helped Lily set up her lemonade stand. Victoria had arranged for it to be an official refreshment station, with proceeds going to the children's hospital charity the company supported. He spotted Victoria across the park, looking almost unrecognizable in casual clothes, dark jeans and a simple blue blouse. She was speaking with board members, but her eyes kept drifting to Lily's stand. Go talk to her, Daddy, Lily urged, wise beyond her years. It's complicated, sweetheart. She's my boss. She's sad like we were. But we're not sad anymore, right? Maybe she doesn't know how to not be sad yet. James kissed the top of her head. When did you get so smart? I'm 8 3/4, she reminded him solemnly. Victoria approached the lemonade stand later, waiting her turn behind other employees who were delighted by the young entrepreneur. One lemonade, please, she requested formally when she reached the front. Lily beamed, pouring carefully. That's $3 for charity. Victoria handed over a 20. Keep the change for the hospital. As Lily thanked her, James stepped forward. I never properly thanked you for yesterday. It was nothing, Victoria dismissed, but her eyes told a different story. Lily told me about the photo, he said quietly. I'm so sorry for your loss. Victoria stilled, lemonade halfway to her lips. For a moment, James thought he'd overstepped catastrophically. Emma, she finally said, her voice barely audible. She would have been 12 this year. What was she like? He asked gently. The question seemed to surprise her. People usually offered platitudes or changed the subject. Stubborn. Creative. She loved butterflies and hated peas. A ghost of a smile touched Victoria's lips. After she died, I poured everything into the company. It was easier than an empty house. I know that feeling, James acknowledged. After Sarah passed, I was terrified of the silence when Lily was asleep. Victoria's gaze drifted to Lily, now explaining her secret recipe to fascinated coworkers. You've done an amazing job with her. Some days better than others, he admitted. Having a community helps. You're welcome to be part of ours, you know. Even fierce CEOs need people sometimes. Victoria's laugh was soft but genuine. Is that your professional assessment, Marketing Director Morgan? It is. And I'm very good at my job, as my boss recently acknowledged. Something new flickered between them, possibility, perhaps. The Children's Museum has a new butterfly exhibit, Victoria said carefully. Emma would have loved it. Perhaps Lily might enjoy it too. James smiled. I think that could be arranged. As summer turned to fall and then winter, the employees of Hayes Innovations grew accustomed to seeing Lily Morgan in the office occasionally, doing homework in the break room or helping with simple filing tasks after school. They grew used to seeing their CEO smile more, laugh occasionally, even leave work at reasonable hours sometimes. And if anyone noticed that James Morgan and Victoria Hayes often arrived at work separately but left together, they were wise enough not to comment directly, though the office betting pool on when they'd move from family friends to something more was the worst-kept secret in the company. On Christmas Eve, Victoria hosted a small gathering at her home, the first time she'd opened it to anyone from work. Diane and a few close colleagues watched as Lily directed the adults in decorating the tree, Victoria following the child's instructions with amused precision. I never thought I'd see the day, Diane murmured to James as they prepared hot chocolate in the kitchen. Victoria Hayes, taking orders from an 8-year-old. 8 3/4, James and Victoria corrected simultaneously from opposite sides of the room, then caught each other's eyes and laughed. Later, after guests had departed and Lily had fallen asleep on the sofa, Victoria and James sat beside the tree, the room illuminated only by its twinkling lights. I have something for you, Victoria said, retrieving a small package. It's not much, but... Inside was a framed photo, Lily at her lemonade stand, Victoria kneeling beside her, both laughing at something off camera. James remembered taking it at the company picnic. It's perfect, he said softly. When Emma died, I thought that part of my life was over, Victoria admitted. I never imagined that an uninvited 8-year-old would invade your office and change everything. James finished. 8 3/4, Victoria corrected with a smile. And yes. Though her father might have had something to do with it too. James took her hand, still amazed that the formidable Victoria Hayes could look at him with such warmth. You know, that empty chair in your office turned out to be the best thing that ever happened to us. Too small, Victoria murmured, echoing her words from that first day as she moved closer to him. Sit here instead. As the snow fell softly outside and Lily dreamed on the sofa, two people who had learned to live with empty spaces found them filling, slowly but surely, with something new, a family pieced together from broken parts but stronger at the seams. Sometimes the emptiest chairs lead us to the fullest hearts. If this story touched you, please like and subscribe for more content that celebrates the unexpected ways we find connection and healing. Remember that families come in all forms, and sometimes the most beautiful ones are those we build ourselves, one brave step at a time.